Welcome to the Times Week in Review. I'm Tom Bickert. This is Kristen Doerschner. Here are some of the stories that were making headlines this week.
Beaver County could be owed money from the county's hotel tax, but a lapse in audits has made it impossible to know exactly how much money the county might be entitled to. A Times investigation showed local hotels gave guests more than $600,000 in exemption from the county's hotel tax in the first 6 months of this year. Guests can be exempt for several reasons, including a stay that lasts more than 30 days. But because the hotels have not been audited by the county since 2008, officials don't know how many of those exemptions were valid. Of the county's 20 hotels, only 6 turned in complete paperwork.
The Pennsylvania National Guard showed up in Beaver Falls this week, but it wasn't because of a natural disaster or statewide emergency. Instead, an 11-member engineering unit was in the city to demolish abandoned homes that had become a haven for illegal activity. 5 abandoned homes in the Mount Washington neighborhood were set to be demolished as part of a National Guard program that targets drug abuse in such unused structures. The National Guard takes care of the demolition, while the city is responsible for hauling away the debris. City Manager Charles Jones said he got the idea for the program a few years ago when he saw a report about a similar project in Youngstown, Ohio. He contacted the National Guard in Fort Indiantown Gap and worked out the details so that the city could reduce blight and hopefully spur new development.
2 local municipalities learned this week they will receive funding for transportation and community revitalization projects. Beaver Falls and Monaca will each get $1 million from the Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission as part of the agency's Livability Through Smart Transportation program. Beaver Falls will use the money to implement enhanced vehicle, pedestrian, and bicycle safety measures on Route 18 between 8th and 20th Streets. And Monaca will use the money to help pay for the Monaca Gateway project that will revitalize the borough's downtown area, including a streetscape project on Pennsylvania Avenue and a traffic roundabout at Pennsylvania and 17th Street.
4 local Republican lawmakers voted against a state House bill limiting the access to guns for those accused of domestic abuse. Representatives Aaron Bernstein of New Beaver, Jim Marshall of Big Beaver, Jim Christiana of Brighton Township, and Mark Mustio of North Fayette Township all voted against House Bill 2060, which overwhelmingly passed by a vote of 131 to 62. The bill would force those convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence charges or subject to protection from abuse orders to surrender their guns within 24 hours. They would be required to turn their guns over to police, gun dealers, or an attorney rather than a friend or relative, as is now the case. The legislators said that the bill was rushed through the House for political reasons and that they doubt it would have any real effect on reducing gun violence in such situations.
You can find all of those stories here at timesonline.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to check in on Friday nights for high school football coverage. We'll see you next week.